Hi, everybody.
Good morning, Nancy Jean.
Good morning, Scott.
So, you're feeling better?
I'm feeling much better. I'll be back. I saved all my energy up to come do the show with you, but I actually canceled everything I was supposed to do this week. I had a bad reaction to an antibiotic. And I mean, bad reaction to an antibiotic. Didn't kill me, but it came close. So, everything's a little bit slowed up for me right now. I swear, next full moon, I'm going to my bedroom with a week's supply of food, and that's it. Full moons do not do me a lot of favors.
It's been a little warm around here.
Oh, it's been lovely here. It's been in the 80s and it's going to rain. We're supposed to have rain every day, sometime during the day this week, and that's just unbelievable. In June, it either rains or you broil. It's in the hundreds every day.
Ugh.
So I know
Yeah, I didn't go out much yesterday. Just went shopping with Nancy.
because it was 91.
It was 91 and no clouds. It's a
Oh,
little too hot.
mm, yeah.
Anything going on in the news? Oh, you were saying something about Texas, about the grid. Someone had to resign or did
Yeah,
resign.
the guy who was supposed to be head of the power grid thing, he resigned 2 days ago. And the thing is, when the power grid blew up in that January storm a couple of years ago, and they found out that all this money people paid higher utility bills to improve the grid, well, they didn't. So then they got stuck with higher bills, but they could never collect the money because when COVID restrictions hit, utility companies could make you pay for your utility bills, but they couldn't cut you off because of the COVID. They didn't want people dying of COVID in boiling or freezing houses. Anyway, when the COVID restrictions got lifted, um, was it 2 weeks ago where they finally said it's gone and it's really not? Um, was Katie opened Katie bar the door, and the utility companies could come after you in this state for any of the bills that had been suspended because of COVID. And according to friends I have in Austin, they know of people, or they were actually in a house where the gas got cut off. No notice, no little sign on the door. You have 24 hours to pay this, nothing. Just, show up with it. And some of the overages that they put on people during the freeze were over $1,000. So um, it's so anyway, then everybody kept saying, well, is it fixed yet? I mean, if we're paying all this money, is it fixed? No, it's not. And we're under a real warning by the national group that overlooks kind of power stuff, saying that if Texas gets hit with an extremely hot summer, and it's had such an influx of people that we couldn't support what we had before, and now we've got it could be worse. So, welcome to Texas. I've been in a house where, because of another reason, we didn't have AC, and it was a day when it got up to 100 degrees, and it's just unbelievable how hot your house can get, even if you open all the windows, because there's no breezes either. So,
Let's see what's up with the energies here
okay,
before we get rolling with some politics.
okay.
Renee saying it was a rough energies. Me personally, I felt great.
Well, we all know you're in a different dimension, Scott. So, well, Pluto's about to go back into Capricorn on the 11th, I do believe.
It's 11th.
Yeah, and then it goes back in there until January. Then it comes out again into Aquarius, which is part of what kicked off all of the real stunning investigations and new information when that happened this spring. And so that was to give us a taste of what it's going to be like when Pluto's out of there. Then it's going to go back into Capricorn until December. But that's also for a chance to do the last shaking out of the crap we need to get rid of. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Right, yes. Hmm. But yeah, I got the Five of Wands coming out here,
Mm-hmm.
saying saying that a challenge is being resolved. Six of Cups is the recurring of old challenges, so it does feel like there was a force involved here.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have hmm, Queen of Wands,
Mm-hmm.
Lovers, and Perspective.
Huh. Oh yeah, we're coming to the end of a lot of stuff here.
So that means everything's going to come in alignment again.
Yeah.
The emotional commitments get revitalized.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Wands is all about getting back. You're getting back focused again with the spirit energies and
Also,
understanding the gifts, and then perspective is having the ability to connect and
mm-hmm.
um, understand and evaluate those messages. So yeah, I think it's coming out pretty good here pretty soon.
I got the two of Pentacles, two of Ariel. We've been going through a really intense balancing act. We kind of felt okay there for a little bit, but we're now ready to bow out of the situations this is two tens means ending, ending, ending. And then we've got new information coming our direction, and we've got new strength coming towards us. So that's going to be good.
Oh, you grabbed the same deck.
Aha!
Nice.
Rabbit. Do
I
you have a
didn't.
sign? Do you have a
I
sign?
didn't. I didn't show him, but yeah, you grabbed the same deck.
Mm-hmm.
Perspective.
Those are the Archangel Power Tarot cards. I have an autographed copy of the deck, by the
Oh,
way.
nice.
Mm. Yeah,
Juno's been taking magnesium to sleep better. Hmm.
that's true.
Oop. Okay. Melody, love and light, and gratitude for all you do. Gratitude is good. Live in gratitude. Okay.
Well, this Tuesday is the 6th of June. So that's the 6th day of the 6th month, which is a portal date. And what that is asking us, our combined consciousness, to focus on is the people around us and the people who we can truly affect, our family, those that we need to nurture, and also to not forget the part about nurturing ourselves. So that's a good thing to come up this week, I think, for a lot of people.
Happy birthday, Teresa's husband.
Uh-oh.
6. Okay. Jeff was wondering about the erosion of 45's lead. I didn't catch the interview, but I just noticed on Twitter this morning that um, one of the Republicans, Roy, someone.
Chip?
No, it wasn't Chip. Maybe Roy Blunt or something like that. I don't know. But Dana Bash asked him, "Is it wise for the Republican leader to be, having all these indictments and possibly prosecuted?" And he just avoided the question.
Yeah.
It's like it belongs to the people, and instead of condemning, it's like, oh my god.
Oh, I'm kind of amazed. I got yes that it's going to start eroding. Among other things, more of his cheating and lying and his bad alliances are going to come to the fore. And I get this guy for Jack Smith. Jack's on his case, and I see that Trump's becomes too much of a burden for the party to carry any further. And as long as you got ex-Republicans like Liz, well, she's not an ex-Republican, but Republicans like Liz Cheney pounding on his butt. That's tough on him too. And I see more people are being drawn to the light and saying and following their smarter instincts. So the problem is the people who are up against him are,
Yeah. Nine of Wands. They're just waiting. They're just waiting to jump ship after he actually gets indicted in something serious.
mm-hmm.
Nine of Wands, Hangman, and Justice.
No, those are all
They're
meaning.
just playing the game until justice comes.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, he's in the Hangman position, so he's going to go soon here. Then I have the Fool, Six of Coins, and Five of Wands. The money's drying up.
Mm-hmm.
It's foolish to follow this man with all these indictments and whatnot, but it's showing it's ending.
Mm-hmm.
Money's drying up in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. So I got the Queen of Coins, Page of Cups, and Ten of Coins. That's a new direction.
Mm-hmm.
The prosperity in the party is in a new direction. To me, with that, in the end, Five of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, this deck says the Papist. What's number 2 in the deck? I forgot.
The High Priestess.
Oh, the High Priestess. Thank you. Okay. Six of Swords and the Empress. They're dying to move on. They're dying to move on.
Well, they are. When they followed his COVID policies, they were dying to move on.
Good point. The battles among the High Priestess, it's just like Six of Swords is trying to move on, and the Empress is something better. But they went in for it. They followed the front of the theater, So yeah, they're all just waiting for him to get indicted big time by Jack Smith, and then be like, whew. It's like what was it? What's her name from Wyoming? Liz Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when she stated that behind the scenes, one guy told her, "Thank God we only got one more thing to do for Orange Jesus."
Mm-hmm.
And that was back after the impeachment.
Well,
impeachment, and it didn't end.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell everybody, have you ever known an ex-smoker? Have you ever seen been around ex-smokers and how militant, and I don't blame them. I mean, smoking is a terrible thing, but how militant they get about cigarettes and not smoking and stuff. That's what's going to happen to these people. When they break away, they're going to be like people that gave up their cigarettes. They're going to be, like Trump who, they're going to act like they never heard the guy's name.
I haven't seen that journal. What's up with YouTube allowing false claims about U.S. past presidents?
Oh, they've really. I was shocked. I was looking for some information, and they really are allowing a lot of stuff that they weren't allowing about election deniers and some of these false companies and some of their false claims. I think that it's not just about election denial. I saw something that was posted, and I see them mostly in the shorts because I don't go looking for any long stuff like that. But there was something about a short saying, "Oh, look, we can see Joe Biden's diaper." Remember how we could see Trump's diaper through his pants? Well, and I was looking at this picture and I'm going, guy, I don't know where you're seeing this, but they're trying to pull out everything they can about his age and his lack of body control, which we know who has no body control.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can kind of see it. There is positive aspects. We know the Republicans are always going to lie,
Mm-hmm.
spin their narrative, but it was wonderful of Joe to be non-political and give kudos to
They got
Kevin.
the well. You know what's interesting about that? I think if y'all want to know about who's going to finally pull the strings on the Republican Party, their big donors were about to take a bath if that thing had gone the way the weirdos on the side wanted. Do you see how fast Congress turned and just hushed them out and said, "We're doing it this way"? And I mean, Dems gave up a little bit, and I have kids who owe college notes, so I know about that. But I think what's going to happen to the people who have college notes, they're just not going to pay them. So screw my credit rating. You know, what good does it do me if I'm impoverished anyway?
Yeah. But the Supreme Court's still got to take it up.
I know. We know how trustworthy they are.
Debo, ex-smoker here, 2 months tomorrow, and yes, I detest the smell. Yeah, it is weird. I I smoked too. I haven't smoked since September,
Mm,
and that smell is annoying once you finally
mm-hmm.
get it. Thanks to the military, everyone was doing it, and I kind of joined in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know if you remember I told you, but um, the VA offered me a CAT scan of my
Mm-hmm.
lung back in 21. Yeah, November of 21. And I'm like, well, let's do this,
Mm-hmm.
because let's see how bad it is. It was clear.
Very good.
They could tell I smoked, but there was no damage. I'm like, how? 21 to 54? That's a lot of years of smoking and no damage. I'm like, thank
You
you.
must have the same sort. You must have a lucky gene about smoke, like I have about plaque. I have a gene actually that doesn't allow my body to build plaque.
Wowzers.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen, smoke free of 39.5 years. Wowzers. But yeah, that was always the toughest thing to ever do was quit. I still need some nicotine yet. I can't get over that.
I
So,
had I had an old acquaintance that was in NA and it kicked all the hard drugs and everything. Still smoked. Oh, please, yes. Okay, let's see if it will happen. After
yeah.
Paxton's, I don't know if people outside the state saw the interview Paxton did, where he basically said that by blocking mail in ballots, they won the state for Trump because Biden was only beaten by 600,000 votes. And in one county alone, they managed to block 2.5 million mail in ballots from going out.
Texas is really going after Harris County.
It's not going to work. Well, they finally published the new maps that unless the Supreme Court does something soon, we're going to be stuck with. You ought to see some of these. I mean, it takes gerrymandering to a whole new high, and I didn't think they could do better than to have a district that starts in Austin, right in front of the State House, and manages to wend its way up through several counties and ends up in Fort Worth. And if you guys don't know how far that is, that's a 3.5 to 4 hour drive if you're speeding. So, and they beat that. I got a big fat no. It's very depressing.
that they're not going to indict him or look into it, you mean?
That they're not gonna, well, the reason I think in part that the legislature moved on Paxton was he probably did something that really pissed everybody off. But the other part was the DOJ got tired of waiting for the local feds offices to take over. So they were sending in a special team out of Washington to investigate the two cases that are against Paxton. And I think that had a lot to do with motivating them. And plus, he's the lowest hanging fruit. I mean, he's been horrible since horrible was horrible. But what voter fraud was there? I guess that would be my problem with the question. It's not voter fraud, it's voter denial. They don't.
Right.
Years ago, when we didn't have paper trails or anything, yeah, they used to flip names and ballots and all that stuff. You hear stories about that all the time, where you'd vote for somebody, and then when they did the review screen, it came back they had switched Beto to Cruz. I was sitting in a car with a friend of mine I took to the polls, and I saw that happen on his ballot. That's why I could, and we finally had to have the guy take the box back in. My friend was too ill to get out of the car, take it back into the voting place and bring out another box. And that one did register. When you looked at the final ballot, he got his vote in for Beto. But yeah, I mean, they stole it by not allowing people to vote. That's fraudulent behavior towards the population of Texas. But it's not, when you think about voter fraud, you think about actually losing ballots, stealing ballots, messing with the ballots. And
Right.
they didn't do that. There just were no ballots.
It's voter suppression.
It's voter suppression.
It's technically not illegal what he did. He blocked the rule for mail-in voting
Right.
because of COVID.
Right.
Right.
Right. And they made you had to, they had like 6 places you had to sign. If you sent your mail-in ballot in, if you could even get one. And there are certain stipulations. This is state law. If you're over 65, you can apply for one and get it. I mean, that's been a long-standing rule, and they didn't change that. But they just don't want anybody else that might not want to go out and stand in a crowded place with other people when COVID was still out. It still is active. It's just, anyway.
Yeah. Right, Carter Mancy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fighting the rules that weren't in place but put in because of COVID. So it's technically not illegal.
No.
Because of the existing rules. So that's, my cards say nothing about investigation. Hopefully making changes later. And nothing to do with justice or locking up or anything. We just have to, the world, 5 of Cups, Page of Wands, and the King of Wands. It's about making changes. It came out, so we know he did wrong, and it's all about making changes. You have to accept the loss. It's what do you want to say? Immoral and wrong, but technically not illegal.
Well, since it was targeted into the areas that have the most minority voters, it's a civil rights issue. But I don't know with the current Supreme Court if that's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's like North Carolina Supreme Court blocking the maps. They tried, but justice said so. They had to vote with those maps, and now North Carolina's got a supermajority. It's unfortunate. That's why we need the Voters' Rights Act. And John Lewis.
Well, Cartomancy lives near me, and where we live is the most difficult state to vote in. It's the most difficult to register. It's the most difficult to find polling places. And unless you live in a big county like Dallas County, is pretty transparent. If you want to find stuff, you can find it. But they also made it very hard for, in some states, as I understand it, the voter rolls, if you write to them and say, I'm doing this and I need a copy of the voter rolls, they make you sign a thing you won't use it for commercial purposes. But if you're running a candidate, you can get the rolls for free. In Texas, and it depends, it goes different from county to county, but it can cost you thousands of dollars to get one congressional district. So what do you work with, you know? Is that, will bail be applied or allowed?
Yeah.
Okay.
When the documents case comes down,
Mm-hmm.
will there be bail for 45? I don't. My guy's just saying I don't see bail.
Mm-mm.
That young dude in Massachusetts, whatever, Texera, he ain't out.
Nope.
Reality Winner didn't get out.
Mm-mm.
And she disseminated one document. No. Let's see. The Moon, 8 of Cups, and 8 of Swords. He's going to prison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him getting out. Oh my God, this is bad.
For him?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Moon, 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords, going to prison. He's going to have a tough time with his soul and his angels because the addictions are going to kick in. He's going to have major health issues with the 8 of Coins. Oh, he's going to be seeing some dark times, nightmares, 10 of Swords, and then he's going to be praying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's not going to be president. He's not going to be running. He's going to be in a padded room.
What I did is, in life is like a board game. I got the 4 of Swords, a restful solitude way, right side up. That's a yes. Then I got a no. It's a party place. He's not going to be able to influence his old buddies anymore. And then he has the 9 of Pentacles, Independence Place. So he's going to be locked up in some secured place. It's not going to be the prison you and I would want him in, but they kind of closed most of those up in medieval England. And then the next card is Provider of Emotional Support. He ain't going to get no help from nobody. And his end is the Hangman. So he starts as he ends as the Hangman, and he starts as being in retreat and restful. So I think, yeah, that he's not going to get out. I mean, they're gonna find a place that's going to be a what they used to call club feds in the day. But
I always believe it's some kind of federal sanitarium or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They showed me it's a padded room, or kind of.
All I care is that we could have one whole week
without him.
Without having some dumbass quote people think you really need to hear. I am so good at fast forwarding past Trump and some other people. I thought I was good when George Bush was president. I was how fast I can hit that button now.
Yeah. I can't stand that man's voice.
I know, that's what made, and I don't even like, there's a couple of people who don't use his voice, but they read it like it is his, like they have this whiny voice. I don't even like that. I mean, I quit listening to one comedy show because they kept doing that, and I was like, I don't want to hear him say it. Why would I want to hear you say it?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Kathy D. But we'll see what happens, but I always see him, the detox or whatever, is going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
That and being locked up. We'll see what happens, but there's zero chance he's going to be the nominee. He's not going to make it out of 2023. I always feel it. Really? Chuck Todd's being replaced?
Oh, please. Oh, please. That man.
I tried to find Stephanie Miller's show, and I can't find anything that's free. I don't have XM. Well, I downloaded the app, but they want $11 a month to have XM.
Yeah, it's not free. It's a paid service.
I tried finding on
What kind of cable do you have?
different stations, through iHeartRadio or something.
Right.
Nothing.
Nobody runs her. Do you have, what kind of cable do you have? Not to pry into your personal life, but
TDS. TDS.
Okay, that's not what I know. Because do they have free speech TV? Because she's on every morning.
Oh, okay. Kristen wants to take over. No, I guess I'm not going to worry about it. I searched and searched and searched, and I'm not going to pay for another service.
No, I don't blame you.
I wish she'd have more clips than a few minutes sometimes on the political voices on YouTube, but oh, yep, Rose Lewis said political voices, but they're not very long, just little clips of a few minutes. Anyway, I used to have Spectrum, but they wanted to jack up my prices and wouldn't come back down.
Spectrum does have free speech TV.
But I got rid of it.
I don't blame you.
They jacked my prices up $80 a month for a long-time customer, and I asked I wanted to go back or I'm switching because I can save $120 a month. They wouldn't go back until after I switched. I'm like, too late now.
Right.
Silly people. Okay. Next, Earth Mama. What's going on? Russ is losing.
I know. He keeps wanting to say, I want to have peace talks, but he doesn't want to talk about getting out of Ukraine first.
Oh, Karen, I go crazy without some TV. There's some sitcom shows I just have to watch. The NCISs and those. I like those CSIs and all that. Okay. Oh, I think Paxton's going down, but we just read on the voter suppression, but Paxton's in big trouble. You're finally not going to you don't get being indicted for 8 years and eventually not pay the piper.
I would love to know what's going on behind the scenes that all of a sudden they got religion about him. I mean, it's only taken 8 years.
We read on him last week. Didn't we get his wife would turn on him?
She's in the Senate. Part of some of the stuff that came out last year was he had moved his mistress into an apartment in Austin somewhere. Same old Texas story. What can I say? And so, and she's sitting in the Senate, and meanwhile, it's headlines in all the papers about him and his mistress. So, but then again, I've known friends whose husbands went out and found mistresses and stuff, and they're like, "Fine, just keep bringing the paycheck home. I don't care." So,
oh Jesus,
that's a real 3D sort of view of life. But
y'all tied with one long rope.
Let's
hope so, Rose Blue. On the phone, I get her, but not on TV. Okay. Kremlin and peace talks.
I got he's not sincere about it. He's just saying it because it sounds good.
Let's see. I got a Tower.
Mm-hmm.
My Sun in the Star card, and then the Queen of Swords. Starting out. The drastic failure. It doesn't feel like talking to me.
No, it's just
That feels like the disastrous war that was started, everything coming to light, and then all these trials coming up for all the war crime. It feels like an ending coming. 10 of Cups, Knight of Swords, King of Cups. So we got the war in between positive things, like the Witch is fulfilled, the Home card, the King of Cups is love abundance with some male leader, but in between the war. And then I have, so then the Five of Wands is arguing, Queen of Cups, loving, healing, and then angel influence and a proposal. It feels like it's ending this summer. Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, Five of Wands. Arguing over the ending, but it feels like it's ending this summer. I mean, I got a lot of great cards of abundance. So I don't sense like an actual peace talks, but it feels like an ending in a Tower.
Yeah, I think my middle card's the one that's most important. It's costing Russia so much. And now that apparently Russians who kind of defected into Ukraine are coming back across the border, but they're Russians. So it's not Ukraine invading them. It's their own people.
Yeah, they're doing. Oh, I hope so. I've seen it ending repeatedly in the summer. God, I hope so. I mean, originally it didn't, Spirit's time. It never felt like it was lasting long. Maybe it's just the thought of an actual type of war lasting, but it's just horrifying. But they're doing, those groups are doing it. Gosh, frog. They're doing things within Russia now. Chaos and worry. Those groups, so it's hitting home. It's more about people seeing what's actually going on in the war instead of the propaganda. And all those guys say is just their propaganda back, So once the people see that the truth and they're hurting, fight back.
What I asked flat out, will the war end this summer? And I got the Tower.
Oh, please.
The Knight of Pentacles. These are all yeses because they're right side up. The Eight of Swords, getting out of a prison. That it's gonna start to stop, and then there's gonna be a brief period where things wait, and then there's gonna be the Seven of Wands when everything moves quickly and it's done.
Oh, praises.
I know. That's the first time I've gotten a solid yes on that since the night Putin went in, and I did a reading on I did a 3-card on him, and it was going to be the disaster for him. He was writing in thinking this is going to happen. It's just going to happen real quickly. And then the out card for him was long-term disaster. So
let's hope. Well, I've always sensed like the end of the Kremlin or Putin is tied with Donald. if he gets indicted, maybe it ends about the same time. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
So,
Mm-hmm.
sorry. Dang it. Oops. Trying to trying to star and hit the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our leaders just went over and I can't remember the guy's name right now, but they signed a deal with or cooperation with South Korea and Japan
Mm-hmm.
to help protect this whole thing with China
Mm-hmm.
and Taiwan. So that's good news. They got cooperation from those two governments on protecting Taiwan and the aggression that China's kind of doing.
Kind of doing. They buzzed one of our aircraft carriers yesterday.
Yeah, they buzz, but there's no.
Well, as long as they don't drop things, I mean, you know.
They didn't drop things, right? They just buzzed it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The best thing that could happen for all of us is if Ukraine wins and flat out wins and has the world support, because China is not in that great of shape. It's put another chunk of China on lockdown because of COVID. They've
Okay.
never gotten control of it.
In the end of my toss about how serious it is, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Ace of Coins Abundance, Knight of Coins, and then the Empress Star. So it's all good in the end. It's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Going with the flow, it could be a surrender, but there are struggles in between.
Mm-hmm.
China is just causing problems here with the tower,
Mm-hmm.
the abundance with the 10 of cups, and the 5 of cups. There's some kind of loss. I mean, well, that could also mean their home is, like you said, isn't
Mm-hmm.
good. They just want to. There's just like the devil, dark times, and the stress.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, it's like they want to cause chaos,
Mm-hmm.
all the greed. But I don't see it going anywhere in the end. They have their own problems at home,
Mm-hmm.
but I see it going fine later in the end result of the cards.
Well, what I see is it's very serious because they've used it. These are fives reversed. This is the 5 of cups and the 5 of pentacles reversed. And fives always mean change. And so it's been locked in a situation where it wasn't about to change. And but now they're feeling burdened by their own people. They have to do something to whip their people into a frenzy. And they're not sure how to do it. Um, and it's not going to happen immediately, but it's a serious challenge. It's a 4 of cups. They haven't made the decision to do that yet. So I think they've always loved pushing the idea we can go in here and we can cause chaos, but
Yeah. I mean, we have too many partnerships going on with peace over there.
I know.
It's kind of like China just tells North Korea, "Oh, shoot a few missiles."
Yeah, that's use their little client state that they feed just to cause problems.
It's kind of like the EU, just looking for stability.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these dictators. And we need Turkey's Erdogan to get indicted or something and pulled out. He made himself another dictator for 5 years.
Yep.
Voting suppression over there, so he won again.
Mm-hmm. And the national government runs the press, so it's a little hard to get two opinions on that.
Send the battery to Taiwan. Well, we got to take care of Ukraine first. Morning, Charlene. Okay. Oh, everyone's frustrated with Turville. How are we going to get these military promotions?
Okay, I see that they're trying to create balance and bring things back together, but they're at a two of swords moment. And then after that, all three of my cards say no. This is no to him choosing to get along. This is no to anybody being able to get something going and started. And this is the Knight of Pentacles, and he's the one who can create action, but he's reversed. So they for places that claim to be so red, white, and blue and fly the flags all over the place. I heard was he the one that was interviewed, and he was talking about how some young kid in his state had been accepted at one of the military academies, and it just broke Turbeville's heart. He knows the family so well, and the boy just said he didn't believe in the military anymore, so he wasn't going to go in. And I'm like, fine, your family want to walk away from $100,000 worth of education? Good. You shouldn't be in there anyway. You're like the guy who was selling out the records on posting them on Twitter or whatever that guy was doing.
I seen Tuberville's brother call him out.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we want to go with this?
I don't see that I think they're going to find ways to work around it eventually, but right now, no. They're not going to take a face on.
Yeah, it's a burden yet. So I got the Strength card, Ten of Wands, Queen of Swords. That bitter fighting about getting these through. Those three there, Queen of Wands, burdens, and Strength, is just not stressed about getting it through. But there's going to be some kind of failure, either for Tuberville or something coming up that'll. So I have the Ten of Swords, King of Cups, and Six of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
Things going to happen here soon, causing these to move forward. Something's going to change Tuberville's mind and stop the blocking, because in the end, I have them getting everything moving forward. Ten of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the United card, the Four of Wands. The community service and everything moving forward. So the big card is this one. Something's going to happen with a failure with Tuberville or something that's going to change things. Maybe it's indictments, who knows? Or he gets called up or January 6th or something.
Well, that'd be a good place for him to go.
Pretty sure I thought I heard that someone was calling him, Meadows or someone, block the certification, that kind of thing. Who knows how deep he is, but they're all in one way or another. At some point, something's going to happen to get these through. It's just unfortunate. Maybe enough pressure. Because one man is holding up our military and people's lives. So I got a Ten of Swords coming on him. Okay. Laura is wondering about Director Ray is bringing in some documents for the Chaos Caucus and Weaponization Committee's nonsense. Okay, outcome of Director Ray bringing in some documents. I think it's closed doors. I'm pretty sure I read it was closed doors. Oh, Gene, it could be a while until everything's cleared up. Nothing happens quickly. Oh, trying to star, and then it came up.
Okay, outcome.
Five fingers.
You want to know if it's a good outcome or a bad outcome? Because I can pull outcome. It's going to say yes, there's an outcome, or no, but it doesn't give us
Right.
What kind of outcome are we looking for here?
Well, according to what her question is,
Mm-hmm.
are these documents that Ray's bringing firm bringing in criminality to bite our president?
Okay. Will
That's
it
the
prove?
outcome. She's wondering if it's going to be bad for Joe.
Okay, well, I can do that. I can do in my cards. I just
Thanks, Laura. Closed door with Comer and Raskin. Okay.
I got 5 no's. I got there's but I'll tell you at the base behind that what's going on. This is that the message is going nowhere. It's the ill intention just sort of leaps off the page at you about why it's not good. There's no strength behind it. Once again, it has the non-start Ace of Wands upside down, and it's not going to drive people into stormy seas. That's what I get for the outcome for Joe. It's not going to be bad. But what I saw, I said, where did these papers come from? It was someone's bright idea to try and create a sense of judgment. They're trying to create a sense of bad partnerships, and it's done with evil intent. Materialism is the devil in most people's decks, and it was clearly aimed at Joe. So whatever this paper is, it's so poorly engineered that if you can read, you can see what's going on. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I got these documents with it. My 9-10 of coins can be documents bringing in. Mm-hmm. 7 of cups is delusion of what they want. Mm-hmm. And I have the loss, 5 of cups. I have the Queen of Swords, Page of Coins, and 8 of Swords next. So, some legal efforts. Change. Is it raise assistance? It feels like, well, they're all lawyers in the FBI mostly, right?
Mm-hmm.
People. So that feels like that.
Mm-hmm.
Page of Coins can be new documents or whatever, but 8 of Swords can be locked up, but it just doesn't feel like that because you always feel the nothing burger thing, right? Mm-hmm. But this means something or some kind of illegal lawyering kind of feeling. It doesn't feel like bad for Joe, but it feels like some kind of.
I think it's going to expose the people who put the papers together.
Yeah, something like that, because it feels like the Durham report, a nothing, you know. Mm-hmm. I got our government's. There might be a whistleblower or some kind of. Or someone else working with Ray that shows something. I got the transition, our government, and an offer or a whistleblower making connections. Mm-hmm. So it may actually just expose these guys, Comer and Republicans, what they're doing. I think Ray's doing this to please them and show proof this is nothing. You're barking up the wrong tree. People are nuts. The Chaos Caucus. Mm-hmm. Yep. Pretty much Linda coined the phrase. I mean, I hear a lot of people saying it, even in, what do you call it? Mainstream media, and stuff. They always talk about nothing burger too.
No, isn't that come from Where's the Beef? back in
Could
that
be.
period of time when they'd say, well, there's no beef, it's a nothing burger. But Linda made it really common in talking about this stuff.
We had to create our own little. It's our zilch salad. It's the zilch salad or something.
Mhm.
Um. Okay, since we're on Comer, what's Comer's energy for 2024?
See, he's a senator, Congress.
Or representative every
Okay,
2 years.
okay.
Depends how bad his district is.
Well, Kentucky's a weird state because they have a Republican governor, don't they? I mean,
Democrat.
Democratic governor. They've got a Democratic governor, which means that the state's pretty badly gerrymandered because that's when you get more reps.
Right. He didn't win by much. I think the only reason he won because the guy he was running against was very corrupt and that people knew about it.
Okay.
And he didn't win by a lot, but he won.
I got that he's not going to be reelected
Uh,
because he's not going to be running. He's going to be leaving the battleground.
wow.
But as in cards, he thinks he's really strong and he's got the money to do it. But he's going to leave. He doesn't want to leave, but he's going to leave because he doesn't want to time in the battle anymore. And it's got something to do with people seeking balance. So it may be this kind of crap he's pulling. When nothing works, what happens?
I don't think I'm trying to tap in through the universe, and it doesn't really show me a path of like yes or no. It's leaning towards a no because I don't see him like in a victory stage or whatever. There's this challenge ahead, so I would lean more what you're saying. Yes, he has some dark times. He's burdened. Oh, some kind of legal authority. Just gosh, is he going to get wrapped on January 6th stuff or some BS? I don't know.
Remember, we got 36 we think are going to get ash canned out of Congress over that. I think.
Quite a few.
What my guides tell me.
There may be 36, but not all are going to be indicted kind of feeling. Or, I mean, guilty. That kind of feeling. At least 25 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have legal authority here with the King of Swords, a transition, and then an offer, maybe to quit. I had the Fool, the Ten of Wands, being exhausted and burdened, stress, and moving on to better times with the Six of Swords. Then I had the Ace of Cups, Justice card, and doing the right thing. It could mean he's going to not run too. He's burdened by everything, Six of Swords, getting better, but then balancing life and doing the right thing can be walking away here. We'll see, but it doesn't. When I try to tap in, I don't really feel the energy is moving towards him running again or winning. One of the two.
I want to say two things. Thank you to Tarot Ask Backwards. Thank you for your sticker. And I tell you what, sometimes when I ask the universe I don't talk to the universe about this except on Sunday mornings. But when I ask sometimes the universe, I hear this giant shrug like, we've been talking about this way too long. And I think that's why you don't get clear answers anymore. Or there's still so much crap to get thrown around. I don't know. Also, congratulations, Angela, on getting and not getting taken over by the right-wing party in your country. They had an election. They won. They won.
I guess there's been new reporting. Remember that Putin-loving woman that was running in France? Le
Yes.
Pen? Le
Le
Pen?
Pen. Mm-hmm.
She's outed.
Outed how?
Um,
Out of the closet? Out of the what?
they they're trying to remove her because they found her Russian connections or something.
Oh, her financial connections to Russia. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if she's still in, but I briefly read the report because I was a little busy, but there's big trouble for her, and they found that she was pro-Putin in Kremlin and not doing the right things for France.
Speaking of people who were pro-Putin, the woman who tried to say Joe Biden sexually attacked her in the
Terrorist.
1990s has just recently taken up residency in Moscow. Now, are we amazed? Is anyone amazed? If you saw that woman and you saw his wife Jill, I'm not one that says physical beauty's everything, but I was like, what? It's just when there's money like that, and I think that's one of the reasons why if DeSantis ends up with his butt popped back in jail, it's because the people whose names were on his bail are very Russian.
Yeah, that was nuts. I didn't listen to it, but she was on some podcast when she was after she landed or whatever, and talking all kinds of great things about Russia and
that the redhead
fear for her life in the States and da da da.
Yeah, and
like, whoa.
her problem was nobody was talking about her. Maria, whatever her face was, Belinskaya, the redheaded one.
Maria Butina.
Yeah, she's she's her best friend.
Crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? Yeah, we all knew she was. We all knew that was a zilch salad. When those accusations come out.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen's wondering if there's any pocket pardons after people get indicted, because there was at least 6 that we know of asked for pardons in Congress. You'd think our government would know about any pardons out there.
No, they don't have to. And the way he ran it, that's why they created the Office of Pardons, where pardons could be reviewed. They could see if they were good or not, or make sure that the person who's issuing the pardons knows the whole background on the situation. And Trump, Clinton got in all that trouble for some guy he pardoned, whose wife was a multimillionaire, who had just given Clinton a lot of money. And they raised all kinds of hell about him. But Clinton did it the way you should do it. I think if they don't go through I think they need, I don't know how the law is structured about how that part happens, but I think that there should be some kind of review, and they've created that in the DOJ. And I think that the Congress should have rights to say, you just can't mysteriously show up with pardons,
You think there would have to be a paper trail on any pardon created.
Not the way it's set up now. He could write it on the back of an old postcard.
Yeah, he pardoned Janine Pirro's husband. Mike Pence. Don't worry about Mike Pence. I don't think any of the current runners are going to be the nominee for GOP.
I don't think they found the right person. I mean, the person that can even try to do it.
You look at the history, Rand Paul and Ted Cruz were leading, let's just say. Trump wasn't even in the running in Iowa. After a few votes, Trump was. Same with back in the day with whoever. You can look back. The people that get in first never seem to be the nominee.
No, they're looking for a position in the government.
No, I don't think it's Romney. Honestly, my feeling is it probably will be Glenn Youngkin, Virginia. Because he's holding back and not joining in. And he's been having donors saying they want him to run. And so he's just going to let all this chaos drag out and then get in later, probably. So let's see what the cards say about this. But do Trump cronies actually have pardons? Just sitting there waiting all these years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Justice. Let's see. Illusion, delusion, defending, and King of Swords. Legal matters.
Mm-hmm.
So that would, the first three in the past would say if there is pardons, it'd be invalidated.
Mm-hmm.
I got legal challenges, being in the White House, Ace of Swords, truth. So that would say if you did something legal, it doesn't matter. Six of Pentacles, money given for pardons.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I think there was money. This is showing there was money given for pardons, pay for play. In the end, I have Chariot, Five of Cups, Knight of Wands, and a Tower. That's telling me I only get money, pay for play. I'm not seeing, I don't have any cards that say there's documents of pardons. These people are going to have it isn't going to matter. That's why I'm sensing. With Chariot, Tower, the Five of Cups loss, and the King of Wands, greater heads prevail. I think it's nothing. I don't see pardons. I didn't get any cards that show, certain cards I look for documents, like with coins, the 3 of coins, 4 of coins. I didn't get any of those. I got the pay for play. So I don't think there's pardons out there. I just don't see it.
So what I got was people trying to get together for a mutual thing, but they were never able to quite do it. And the middle card is the Knight of Swords reverse, which is something just couldn't get done. But then I see even if they pulled them out, they'd have the 3 of Pentacles, which for your thing would be documents, but it's going to end badly for them because it's going to be proven they're not valid. And think about it. Remember when Blagojevich went to sell Obama's senator seat?
Yep.
That's when you pay for a pardon, that's what it's like. They're supposed to be freely given, not given freely after you give me $2 million. So.
Alrighty.
I heard a rumor that Ivanka changed her last name to Kushner.
Yeah, I've been hearing something like that too, but yeah. We've seen she's pulled away. Oh, I already said that. My biggest sense right now is probably going to be Glenn Youngkin. That's my sense.
I don't have one. I think they're going to have to see how badly damaged the
party is. That's why Youngkin's not in the party.
What is he?
He's the Republican governor of Virginia.
I know what he is, but if you said he's not in the party, he's not a Republican, what is he?
No, I mean he's not in the current chaos.
Okay.
he's kind of like the outsider of the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who knows if it's right? My guide showed me a guy in his 50s with darkish hair, not gray, and something popped up on YouTube or something about Youngkin, and I'm like, oh, it could be him. I'm not getting a boom yes, but that fits the image I was seeing. Lead him on the Republican Party. Oh, we read that one. Debo's wondering about how Navalny's feeling.
Oof.
Krista Sunu's got lighter hair. I'm just saying with my image. I know he would be a decent one too to get in as far as Republicans go. But he has lighter hair and he doesn't fit the image my guide showed me. But he would be probably a better run than in what they have currently going on. Laura thinks Youngkin's waiting in the wings. If I was a Republican waiting, I'd wait. Let all these chaos people fight it out. It's crazy. What, 18 months before we even vote, and they're going to New Hampshire and South Carolina and Iowa. I know Youngkin's horrible, but we want a Democrat to win. Yeah. Newsom will be a great leader too someday for the Democrats. Gretchen Whitmer, Michigan, she'd be a great leader for the Democrats. Mm-hmm. There you go, Karen.
What I see from Navalny is the Six of Swords. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. That getting away from something terrible, but seeing that it's almost there. And he's actually in better physical shape than I thought I would see him in. But the hardest thing for him now is to keep it together emotionally. Do you know what they're doing in Europe? They've created the cell that he's in. Some artists have created a sculpture. That's the cell he's in. And they're taking it around to different cities and posting it in their prominent squares or in front of places so people can come by and see what Navalny's living in every day.
I think, well, I got a weird toss. Nothing's peachy, but he's battling, but he's getting some health assistance he needs.
Mm-hmm.
So Seven of Wands is like, it makes me feel like his health is kind of like back and forth. But I got the Sun and Three of Pentacles. So it feels like he's getting the assistance he needs medically with that. Then I have the Empress, Two of Swords, and a Tower. That tells me he may have a relapse of something coming up here. But his guides got him, it feels like. So it's a drastic change to a situation. So if I'm feeling like if this was a different card, it would be better. But with the Two of Swords, it's blind. It may come up quickly, so he might be rushed to the hospital kind of feeling there, but his guides got him. It's a continual struggle I'm being shown here. Knight of Cups, Death card, and Knight of Swords. That's not a good situation there. Because the Knight of Cups is protection and angelic influence is being crossed and waved off by that Knight of Swords. And then a Death card. But that can be an ending to a situation. An ending to a situation, but It's not the sense it's giving me. I don't feel literal death, but I see struggles coming. In the end, Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, King of Wands, and Six of Cups. He may be freed at some point here.
Mm-hmm.
It's telling me. So this one here, the Ace of Swords, it looks like this little kitty's getting united.
Yes.
The crown is up here, but he's being knighted. The Man of Honor with the Knight of Pentacles. Have some patience. King of Wands is a fearless leader. Six of Cups. Things from the past being freed. So I feel some struggles coming, but he may be freed here once everything gets settled down with the war ending and concessions. I think it just feels like an external, always a battle from where he's at, poor health.
Mm-hmm.
But he keeps fighting on. I mean, how bad his body has been to continue that fight in those conditions is amazing enough as is. Let's hope so, Bill. Once Putin's gone, the Kremlin's gone. It's more the leadership because we always feel like Putin's not been Putin. His doubles and whatnot. GOP quit thinking. Ugh. They'll always have disagreements there. If we look back in time, they've always never really changed. It's just been more harsh the last few years. When they keep losing seats, they might have to change their thinking. When will the GOP quit? I guess it's more of when will they actually work for the people instead of just
right. When will they quit thinking
distract.
their salary and what they want is what's most important for the people?
Right.
Their greed.
When will they actually think about the people again?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like they went nuts after Bill Clinton won twice. And it's been all downhill since.
Well, in every election that they didn't win but stole or got because of the weird electoral college.
Yeah. Oh, the world would be such a better place if 2000 was different.
Yeah, if Democrats would learn, don't vote for third-party candidates because your nose is out of joint. I got that it's always going to be a balance issue, and it's when people want to quit hurting that they'll let the sunlight in and have the sun be positive and have its good energy shining on us, and they'll boot the Republicans out, and they won't. Okay. They won't think that the government's going to hand them everything that you've got to get into the mindset. And I'm really excited to see some actually understandable descriptions of how quantum mechanics works with our world, of how what we see is what we get. But there's too many people who want someone outside of them to take the responsibility for bringing the energy in for what's good. Each one of us has to be a center of what's good to the best of our ability, even though we're all flawed doing it, but thinking in terms of positiveness, and don't think, well, this person's going to come save me. if we collectively are going to save each other, and that's what voting the right way means. But also, Republicans want strongmen. They want someone who's going to take care of them, and that's the old paradigm, the old patriarchy. Not to pick on fathers using the word patriarchy, but um, we have to be responsible for the ownership of the United States, and not. And when you want someone who's going to come in and say, I'll solve all your problems, and then they don't do it for 30 years. Well, they haven't done it since Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
And don't. Mhm.
It's not going to happen until they see a complete failure in their party. I got a tower in the middle, chariot, tower, and the sun. Until a complete failure happens within their party,
Mm-hmm.
people actually start seeing the light of what they're actually doing and voting against their interests. It's going to take a tower to change anything. Also, justice coming in and people actually seeing what they aren't doing. It's all this read is all about justice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's people seeing the failures, seeing that their decisions aren't helping them in their lives. It's just collapsing what they're doing. Lady justice, and then a victory and success. When it starts actually affecting people's lives, they'll change their voting system. So having clarity and justice and life's purpose being seen, better influences, they'll lose their delusion of what the party is. So it just takes tower moments and justice. Any kind of change takes a tower moment and justice.
Well, every time I think about Republicans, I think about who thinks it's a good idea for people to open carry AR-15s down the street.
True.
You know, they do. I mean, and how could people? And then you get these people, and what is it? Only 25% of people in America even own guns, and they've got all those guns, and there's more guns than there are people in the country. I mean, they live so afraid they have to scare the pants off everybody else. And
yeah, that's what they do. They push fear,
mm-hmm.
lies and fear, and people suck it up.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's going to take a wake-up call. People changing minds and hearts and minds. It's like I was looking for, speaking of guns, I was looking for a vacation spot for Nancy and I for our anniversary next February.
Mm-hmm.
And flights are up, long delays, to get anywhere where I wanted to go. So I changed where I wanted to go because most of the places, it's like if I wanted to fly to Central America, it would take an 18-hour flight with layovers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's out of the, Mexico's shorter, but like Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, that kind of thing, there's nothing short. I'm like, no, hey, we're worth losing 2 to 4 days just getting there and back. So then I was looking at other places, but then Nancy goes, why don't we just go to the beaches of Florida? I'm like, in an open carry state, I'll pass. I'm not going to Florida.
They shoot babies in Hollywood, Florida. Are you kidding?
I'm like, no, I am not touching a Ron DeSantis state. I am not going there. I don't think so. So I think we're looking at Jamaica.
That's nice.
Yeah. I can get a direct flight, except flights are up like $200 a ticket now from last time I flew.
Mm.
So I'm going to wait on that, but looks like I'm leaning towards Jamaica for a week.
Oh, that's a lovely place.
Okay. What did Kristen say here? Two sources with knowledge of the investigations tell CBS Trump's legal team could meet with the Justice Department this week. Trying to get ahead of what's going on. U.S. has a travel advisory for Jamaica. Oh no! Well, my daughter's husband's brother is in Jamaica right now.
Mm-hmm.
I see all kinds of pictures. They're having a blast. So
Apparently, they missed the memo from the department.
they're in Montego Bay. They look like they're having a blast with all the pictures I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Susie lives in an open carry state, but I rarely see anyone actually doing it. Well, that's a blessing. I hope so. But no, I have no desire to go to a Ron DeSantis run state right now.
No.
Okay. Almost 1:30 already. How long is what's this one? How long for this exhausting exposure? Well, even in 45 gets indicted, we all know it's still going to be chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look what happened with New York. He was indicted on 37 counts or whatever. GOP just says it's fake news. So it's not going to be immediate.
No, if a document's case and he gets locked up and they shut up his mouth, and then if they get they can get Bannon in a jail cell for a bit without his radio show, you'll see how fast things will change when people don't have that flood of crap in their heads every day. Then we'll be able to read about other things, Scott.
That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
The country seriously needs him to go away. His mouthpiece. But Ron DeSantis is just taking his place.
Yeah, well,
his that man has zero character, zero pizzazz. You see him speak, and it's like, oh my God.
I watched a small clip of his wife introducing him. The wrong member of that marriage is running.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, except I wouldn't want her to run because she'd do better than he's doing. You know, I used to help candidates, and we'd carefully sculpt when they would do their big announcement. We'd have the press conference and the pictures and all this stuff. It's before a lot of the internet media, but you always got a bump. Even if I had a crappy candidate, they got a bump from their announcement, their friends and their neighbors, how exciting, I know this person who's running. You'd get money, you'd get some name recognition in the neighborhoods. He actually lost money and his points went down after his big announcement with Elon. And then everything he did since then, it just keeps going down and down and down. And it's just because the guy can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact number, but he had this speech in Iowa, and he mentioned woke like nearly 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's his whole platform.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be woke. And then he put out some tweet about only in Iowa and Florida we are going to get rid of woke ideology with Kim Reynolds. So I guess he's setting up to put her as VP, huh? Okay. How's this going to go for George Santos on Monday with the bond?
Okay. Oh, I'm going to do life as a game for that one. I'm not going to.
Ron DeSantis couldn't even tell you what woke means, so.
It's Perfect thing for him to be running on, something he has absolutely no understanding of.
And yeah, Bannon goes to trial next February for the build wall, I think it is. Karen. Yeah, delays.
Mhm.
Wolf means having empathy for people.
Does woke mean being aware of conscious beings beyond yourself?
Yeah. Oh, the light being shown upon George Santos is going to cause him more problems.
Oh.
Oh, I have a tower coming in for George.
Mm-hmm.
The money is going to be exposed here.
Mm-hmm.
God, you got a chariot coming in behind the financier. Does that mean he's going to go away?
I don't know. I just asked about George's day. Let me see what's his.
I know. I got the 10 of Cups, Knight of Swords, and 8 of Cups. Walking away with the FBI coming in. Could he go to a different home after this?
Aw.
I don't know.
Make room for George.
The chariot and the King of Coins together possibly could mean revoking that bail.
Mm-hmm.
God, I hope so.
Okay.
Bad cards.
Okay, he's got the reverse of the darkest before the dawn. He's got a negative on supporting his ambitious success. The only yes he has is he's going to try to put on his winning charm and develop his creative energies. But I also have the card of the shady way and passions and desires card, and that's the Ace of Wands upside down. I think he could lose it and be out in a cell. Let me see. Is George's bail going to be revoked?
George Santos. Maybe he has to try to secure another bondsman or something.
Well, if it was a bondsman, it'd be public record. It's somebody else.
Or the donor or whatever.
Oh, crap. I got that they're going to pull. They're going to be a yes to this, to balancing act. Anxiously stressed out. They don't want to be associated with this. Their goal is to just get out of this alive. And then the out cards are not being on an independent way or not being in an independent avenue and not being able to get anything started. That's the Ace of Pentacles reversed. He can't get the money. I think it might get pulled.
Eight of Cups comes out again.
Mm-hmm.
Truth and clarity with Ace of Swords, and then 6 of Swords. And the 8 of Cups having to walk away from things. And a new journey with the 6 of Swords. Things he did in the past coming to light. 6 of Cups, the Moon, and King of Cups. Depressional thoughts, but what he did in the past has come to fruition here. Yeah, he might just... It's not giving me total clarity on it, but it sure look... Hermit can be mean locked up. Government taking action here with the sun.
Yeah, a lot of people see the light when they're in prison finally.
Good times coming up. Yeah, it's just nuts. Oh, I can't remember who it was, but someone posted on Twitter and talking about Santos a little bit, about all these grifters that were under indictment but kept playing like they were in Congress, receiving their monies and
Mm-hmm.
benefits, until they were indicted. Like that Fortenberry guy. Remember him in, I think it was like Nebraska or Oklahoma or something?
Mm-hmm.
He said he didn't do anything wrong. Well, he was indicted, removed from Congress. But the whole time up to the trial and whatnot, or conviction, he was collecting all his money and getting his severance or whatever you want to call it, retirement.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what it's like in other states, but in Texas, if it used to be you could run up a big campaign war chest and tell all the people who've been supporting you you're going to run again and stuff, and then you could just decide not to run, and that was your money. And they changed the law, so now any money you raised as a candidate, you have to give it to an educational institution, a library or something like that, which I don't think Republicans would give anything to a library at this point. But or you have to do something charitable with it. You can't use it for yourself. But it used to be people could walk away with $10 million in a campaign war chest and keep it for themselves.
Yeah, I think you have to give it to someone else running or something. I think.
Yeah, you can give it to people running for office, but there's a time limit on that.
Yep. Just messing with the system.
I tell you what, in the chat, Youngkin does not have very many friends.
No. But the GOP is going to figure out the least Looney Tune person to put up. All right. Just putting out some inspiration for the day. We're already hour and 30 plus.
Uh-oh. Where'd it go? I had my deck out here to pull. Oh, here it is.
I know. I got the king of coins for who's paying Gene. You can't really tell who paid for Santos's.
I think it's going to be foreign money, and I think that's going to be a real problem.
Probably. Thank you, Karen, for hanging. Pam, Linda, Angela. I know, right?
Okay.
Virginia needs a better governor.
Kuga again. So I'm pulling from my Wild Elementals deck. Okay, and we got.
Aw.
What'd you get?
Okay, 4 of coins. The Hangman and the Hierophant. So when things are in balance, you manage your resources, everything is better. You have awakenings. It can be a temporary pause, but the Hierophant shows unity and strength within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, when you hold on, I mean, you don't have to be stingy, but it just gets the feeling like when things are in balance, you have focus, everything's, better. This is also being in a spiritually minded community. The unity card.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like keeping things in balance, so you don't have that hangman situation. All things are better when together,
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I only sense from that.
Are we done?
Yep.
Okay. I pulled a cougar for everybody. And the cougar's attributes are proper use of leadership and power, balancing power, just like you were saying, Scott, intention, strength, and grace, self confidence, freedom from guilt, sensuality, cunning, and a little bit of an enigma. Good thing. And it says the cougar is a solitary cat, and when you catch a cougar prowling into your life, he's bringing something to you, the message on how you have to do things on your own power. We have to be responsible for ourselves. Now is the time to take the lead in the situation. Now is the time to be strong. He's here to let you know it's a time to leap in to the opportunities made available to you using your power of intentions. Be clear about what your purpose is and where you are leading. So we all need to go out and be cougars. What can I
Thank
say?
you, Jeff. Blessings for the super sticker.
Thank you, thank
Hey,
you.
yep. Tuesday with Val and Allison. We
Hmm.
always do it 6 p.m. Central. You getting back to your Tuesdays?
My Tuesday, this Tuesday, will be on 6/6, which is the portal date. And I'm going to have Dorothy Morgan on to discuss the astrology. We have some very interesting movements coming up the end of this month into the summer, and and to start working with some of that energy. And I went out and talked to Hogarth, my tree, and he's all excited because it's going to rain every day this week, which I never thought about it from the perspective of a tree in Texas. But yeah, this time of year it could be 110 and no rain for months. So he's all happy. And I've been communicating and trying to work out what I'm supposed to learn from the other elementals, and they show up occasionally. They were kind of fluttering around me this week, telling me I was really going to get better, even though it didn't seem like it. For a couple of days there, it really didn't. But I've got that Tuesday thing, and then I don't know if I'm going to come on with just a general questions show or another past life show on Thursday. It depends on how I feel. I have to refit in all the people who have had appointments with me. By the way, I still am doing my 6 months readings, and I've had quite a few of those. So, um, and I'm for those who've written about them to me, I'm getting you scheduled this week. So, um, I had when I got sick last Monday, right after our show, I had a lady I was going to read at 1 o'clock, and my daughter had to take over my Zoom meeting and just say, um, "Good, yeah, little kids sing that song." So anyway,
Oh no, Disney.
oh no, Disney, can't do Disney, even Frozen Disney. But and then next Saturday for my gardeners who are in the group, and I saw several of their names in the chat. We'll be having our garden class. So, and if you're interested in any of the other stuff I do, um, I had a grid that got seized by Canadian Customs, and we can't figure out why. So they're just the place I mailed it through is just sending it back. I've had the worst trouble get. I've been trying to get this grid to this woman since March, and I've never had so much trouble. The first one I sent her, the post office ran over it and it was squished. And so I made her another one, and now now it was seized by customs. And she just said when they called her up, they said you have to hire an agent to get this cleared up. And she said, "I've lived here my whole life. I've never had to hire someone to get a package out of the U.S. It is a small work of art that was put together by this lovely lady for me." So she just called me and she said, "Can you think of another way?" So I've shipped into Canada with one other company. I'm going to go talk to them and see if they've had a change in policy. I mean, who knows? Um, but so if you're Canadian, I'm not sure I'll ever get anything to you. But if you're anywhere else in the world, I've shipped things to Finland, but I can't get things across the border. My next plan, if I can't find a way to get it in, I'm going to fly over, visit Dorothy Morgan, who lives in New Hampshire, and I'm going to borrow her kayak and paddle up the East Coast.
Unbelievable.
I mean, just and I understand Joy's supposed to be out like in the next month. Apparently, Louis going out kicking me. You know, my postal charges almost doubled when that man took over, and
Yeah, it's like three. When I ship cards to Canada, it's like three times the cost. The cross.
oh, when I my grids to mail them when I was first mailing a lot of them, it was about $13 in the U.S. anywhere in the U.S. And the first time I had to ship into Canada, it's $52.
Oh,
You know, and it's not based on distance because I'm about as far from
no.
Canada as you get to be in the contiguous 48. But it's nothing to do with that. It's just what they charge. And it goes through a checkout station in the States where they pass it through customs. Then they pass up to Canada. But I've never, even when that lady's grid got squashed, the post office delivered her to her, delivered her the squashed box, but they delivered the box. They didn't say anything about other charges or anything else. It's just outrageous.
Wowzers.
So, yeah, I tell you, if you want to be a reader, be a reader. Do not create physical goods.
God, I can't believe.
But if you want a 6 month reading, which we can do on Zoom, or past lives, or just kind of what's happening around me, you know,
I can't believe the joy is still in there. This makes no sense.
I know. Well, it's like they said, I'll have a lot more faith in astrology when all the planets move like they said they're going to this summer and bring the huge big changes they say are coming. That could be the end of 45, but clean
Make
up.
it, make it so.
I don't
All
think
right.
there's enough bleach and detergent to clean up aisle 45, but we're working on it.
We're working on it. It'll happen.
Okay.
All right. Love and light to everyone.
Love and
Thank you.
light. Bye bye.